Fans, it is time to jump into our first bracket of the evening. The winner of this bracket will be crowned champion. So let's bring out our 145-pound bracket.
I'm not going out there to just make up the numbers. I'm not going out there just to be thankful that I get a chance to be on the Who's Number One mat. I don't want opportunities. I want to show people what I'm capable of.
Diogo very active, taking Josh Cisneros down.
Look at the pace.
A little bold. This looks awfully tight. Ashley Williams looking to secure that.
Souza gets around chest to chest.
Blue corner, training out of San Diego, California, representing 10th Planet San Diego, Keith Krikorian.
Krikorian makes his return to Who's Number One. Had a win over Gabriel Souza quite some time ago. Been looking forward to this young man to make his return.
Yeah, he's very, very well-rounded. Always been very impressed by his performances. So, and he's got a really big task ahead of him right here. So it's going to be interesting to see how he can combine all of his skill sets and make good on someone that's the reigning ADCC champion.
Well, he's got the Star Wars anthem in the background, so he's going to get motivation to take on the baby shark, now known as the Megalodon, who's going to come out to the ring right now.
Out of the red corner, training out of Jundiaí, Sao Paulo, Brazil, representing Escola, Melqui Galvão, Diogo Reis.
Diogo Reis, fighting out of Sao Paulo, originally from Manaus, Amazonas, Brazil, representing Team Melqui Galvão Jiu-Jitsu, makes his return to Who's Number One. Current ADCC champion, Sean.
Yeah, just a very, very impressive young man. So we'll see how his skill sets work with the rule set here.
All right, let's take a look at our tail of the tape. Keith Krikorian, 25 years old, 5'8", weighed in at 144.6 pounds. Diogo Reis, 21 years old, 5'5", weighed in the same 144.6, ranked number 1 in the FloGrappling rankings, as he is the current ADCC champ. All right, here we go. Diogo Reis versus Keith Krikorian. You couldn't ask for a different stylistic matchup. Keith loves to wrestle. Diogo does too, but Keith is a leg lock master, but he's so good all around as well. Diogo, look at that wrestling, that Melqui Galvão style, collar tied to the foot sweep right away.
Yeah, his standing game is so sharp. It's going to be interesting to see what comes after that. You know, in ADCC, he did very, very good to score the points and the takedowns, et cetera, et cetera. Here's a different rule set, so he's not only going to have to look great on the feet, but then what I would expect is for him to look to hunt the back, and especially off of the takedown. So.
Oh, beautiful attempt there by Keith. Diogo gets to the top position right away. These guys are coming out fast and furious here, Sean Williams.
Keith tries a lateral drop there off of Diogo's forward pressure. But Diogo simply just pulled his leg right out of that potential entanglement there. So,
you know, I recently chatted with Damian Maya about the whole Melqui squad. He told me Diogo Reis is one of the most intelligent grapplers he's ever rolled with. He said his wisdom on the mat and the way he's able to strategize in every single roll and every single match, it's so far beyond his age. It's just such a level of experience that Damian was just super impressed with.
Yeah, and he really showed that on ADCC. I think And so I would expect nothing less here of just pressure, keeping his legs free, choosing his time, guillotine attack.
Nice little bite on the chin there. Yeah, Diego's looking good. Diogo's looking good.
Yeah. That was a nice attack on the neck there, just to get that cross-side position. Again, if he just throws these threats and this threats of not only displaying his wrestling, but especially if we see him start to really work on the guillotine attacks here.
Mentioned Diogo Reis, the current ADCC champion. He's won the Pan Am Championships, nationals in Brazil. He's won pretty much every major jiu-jitsu title there is. Won the trials to earn his spot into ADCC. Had a win over Esteban Martinez, who's number 114. And definitely known for his strong use of wrestling, especially, like you said, to get to that back control. And, you know, he exuberates a kind of pressure you don't often see from a lot of featherweights.
Nice, and he's so fast. I'll tell you what Krikorian's going to really need to do is stay stuck on Diogo, which is really going to be the problem. Like, maybe he might get a leg entanglement, but can he stay above the knee? Is he going to have that tightness to be able to hold him? Very nice, just shut bys, beautiful combinations on these takedowns. Krikorian trying a little blast double. And
the arm drag to the single leg, on the leg. Brilliant strategy by Keith Krikorian. Uses the ankle lock attempt to get to the top position.
100%.
That was awesome.
That was beautiful. He used the single leg defense to just sit down. When the leg came to the outside, he pulled and sat right into the leg and then used that as a sweep. Exactly as you said. That was beautiful. Picture perfect how you can use...
Look at that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. This bracket is ridiculous. Yeah, it really is. It is so ridiculous.
The level that we're seeing of the passing, the arm drag to that single leg by Diogo was just split-second precision. Now on top, putting pressure on Keith, and just side-by-side movement. Look at the pace Diogo has here. Keith is just so good, using that left leg shield there. And as you said, as we mentioned earlier, that takedown that he hit, you know, by picking up the single from the arm drag, drop to the ankle lock, use it to get on top. Brilliant strategy. I wonder how many times we're going to see that, or what other types of variations we're going to see from Keith to get on top of Diogo, or just to control him, because, man, Diogo's so squirrely.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's what I always stress with my students is standing grappling doesn't have to essentially be you putting the person down. You just have to end on top. Like, you have to end in a good position. So that the unique aspect of our sport is you can use a lot of different variations, variety to end on the top, even if you are not the one that pursued the takedown initially.
You have to get their hips to the mat. How you do that, it's up to you. It's up for you to be creative, whether it's a takedown or a guard pull and sweep. But however you're able to get those hips down and how you react off it is really the question there. Man, Diogo just, again, is, you know, been nonstop. He's just been putting this pace on.
Yeah.
And red, judges favor Diogo so far. As you said, this division, beautiful takedown again by Diogo Reis. Super stacked 145 bracket.
Yes, it is. There's a nice little cross trip there. Both of them have hit on these little arm drag cross trips now, and it's in almost a clash of heads there. Both guys take shots almost the same time.
And the winner of this, if you look along on the bracket, will face the winner of Ash Williams and Gabriel Souza, which is another, you know, barn burner. Many times grappling promotions say that all of the matches are, you know, main events in other promotions, but I could say this with all authenticity. The Night of Champions truly is one of the greatest cards put together. This bracket is sick. The 170 bracket. Are you kidding me? 100%. Then we got the women's matches, and then we got the main event. The King Gordon Ryan makes his return. This is just going to be an awesome match. Keith picking up that single leg. Beautiful takedown right into a triangle. Diogo Reis does the inverted triangle, or sorry, the triangle on the opposite side there.
That's right. Opposite side triangle. Let's see if he can. I like the hug around the knee. Now he should go to the front triangles. Krikorian's arm is in the front, so that's difficult to finish. As soon as the arm drifts to the front, it's time to switch from opposite to front triangle, and Diogo held that opposite triangle. Krikorian slipped right out. Both guys attacking off the single leg defense there.
Winner moves on to the finals. Oh, Keith with the beautiful leg lock attempt. Goes for the heel now on Diogo. Diogo spinning out.
That was a close position. He did have the knee deep enough. Just couldn't quite hold Diogo in place well enough.
Sean, I don't know about you, but what I see is Keith getting fired up here.
Yeah.
He's starting to really turn up the pace.
He may be gaining a little confidence and is now able to execute a few different things with relatively good success. So nice slide by. Beautiful.
Eddie Bravo in the corner of Keith Krikorian, Melky Galvao in the corner of Diogo Reis. This has been a war from start to finish. We're starting until now, 7 minutes left, 7.5. Diogo with the pass attempt there.
Still got to get by that near knee though. Might do that.
I can't even remember how many takedowns Diogo has hit so far.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been a very active match on the feet. Fun to watch. So over tie for Diogo. Inside tie for Krikorian. Got deep around the back there.
Beautiful timing on that body wrap there. Now Diogo sits back for a heel hook, but Keith uses the opportunity to get on top.
Yeah, he missed that heel hook. He tried to sit quick on it, but he just missed it. Krikorian brings himself to the top. Sumigashi there. Let's see if he can pummel this right leg on top of the shin there. He could pummel that left leg to the inside as well. It's just not necessary. So he's got a near side underhook. The left side is Diogo. He's got to drive his head up and wide to the right.
And this is a good passing strategy for especially somebody with, you know, like Keith, who really likes to tangle the legs to either go for submission or use that to get to the top position. Diogo doing a great job here. And that little space there is enough for Keith to get underneath Diogo, so he's definitely got to be careful there.
Yeah, you see Diogo most likely grabbing that wrist right there. No, he's not really monitoring that wrist. Can't really see from our angle, but that's the side that Krikorian wants to dive underneath on.
Remember, you know what he has right here.
Restart the action here right away. They're tangling up. Keith Krikorian and Diogo Reis for the 145 championship belt. It's a vacant belt. We never actually had a champion here who's #1. So winner of this faces the winner of Ash Williams and Gabriel Souza coming up next.
So slide
yeah, for the foot sweep.
Yeah.
That is becoming a staple technique of the Melky Galvao school. See Mika Galvao and others utilizing that technique constantly.
Krikorian's did a good job of winning the insides. He's doing a great job of winning some of these tie-ups in here. Now he's got the over tie.
Diogo gets a second judge's favor.
Krikorian's got to be careful of that forward pressure, getting a little too carried away with walking forward. You got to be a little cautious with that. Nice entry.
Man, Keith Krikorian is just, again, he's just amazing takedown attempts and just transitions off of them. Just so impressive.
Now sliding right through. See if he can stay down low enough. He does.
Diogo goes for the arm. Double on the wrist there. Keith slips out. Now Diogo grabbing the leg. Probably going to suck it up into that 50-50. Keith not having it, attacking Diogo's foot right away. A little bit of a break in connection there. He almost had a submission there.
Yeah, it was very close.
Well, we've gone 3 for 3 with submissions tonight, so I wouldn't be surprised if this one ends in sub as well.
I think Diogo just missed. He landed on the knees rather than turning right to face the legs right away. Allowed Krikorian to get his arm out. Initially looked deep, very fast. So
What are you doing 3 minutes, right? What can we do in 3 minutes? A lot. Let's go.
The one thing that really impresses me as well as Diogo is just his ability to just change from guard to guard. And Keith attacks the leg one more time, but maybe had a little poke there or something. But yeah, Diego's ability to transition in guard and his guard recovery game is so smooth. It's just such a clash of styles, and I think that's what's making this match so exciting.
yeah, that knee bar was deep for a split second. Diogo did a good job of holding the foot.
Beautiful counter and gets to the back as Diogo Reis now looking for the head and arm, trying to get to that back position. Man, this match has just been non-stop action.
Yeah, good defense by Krikorian. He might just throw that left leg over the top if Diego's not careful here, and then enter back on the leg. I don't.
And what's funny is the other match in this bracket, you know, Gabriel Souza and Ash Williams, kind of similar stylistically matchups. You know, you have a submission hunter, leg locker, like Ash Williams going against Gabriel, is a little bit more of a, you know, positionally sound, and you know, loves that outside passing game, and so it's very similar to Diogo.
You're right.
So it'd be interesting to see what happens next here. Diogo with the pass one more time. So fast.
Yeah, that was beautiful. He's going to get by. See if he uses his knee to clear off that hand and the hip there. Just put that knee right over the top. Clear that hand on the hip. He's made it to north-south.
Scramble and disconnection. Keith on top now, trying to pass again. Now at this point, you know, Keith's had several attempts, but I feel like the judges are probably going to be calling this for Diogo so far. But at this, you know, with a minute and a half left, 90 seconds, anything could happen.
Yeah. Diogo doing a good job of keeping his feet on the inside. I think he did a good, wise move by putting that butterfly hook there. Keith trying to get a near side underhook, but he's just too high. Diogo's keeping that hand posted. You can see that right elbow swim to the middle there. Yeah, I think Diogo has been able to control kind of where this contest has gone pretty consistently, but Krikorian has had some very nice attacks.
Nice little defense there by Diogo. Keith right up on a single. Diogo now to the omoplata defense. Again, these guys are just, the pace and the transition and the connection from technique to technique is unbelievable. This has got to be a contender for match of the year for sure. This has been awesome.
Yeah, there was a nice little throw by with that underhook. You see how far he's keeping his hips away. He's making sure Krikorian can't try to roll or dive through like that. And then beautiful guard pass. Just the left arm was in great position, and basically Krikorian passed his own guard there as Diogo just let his legs go.
20 seconds left. Diogo stalking that back. Looking for the arm once again is Diogo Reis.
There's that leg over, but Diogo brings the knee in easy.
5 seconds left, 2 seconds left, 1 second left, and that is it. What a match. Back and forth. We saw everything in this match. Takedowns, sweeps, guard pass, submission attempts, arm bars, triangles, omoplata, leg locks, you name it, the techniques were there. Let's take a look at that replay. We see Keith attacking Diogo's legs constantly. Diogo slipping out. Final seconds of the match. Keith was unable to get the submission, but man, so impressed by both of these young men. Keith Krikorian once again putting on a clinic, and Diogo Hayes just looking so good here at Who's Number One Night of Champions. We're gonna announce the winner here in a sec. That was a lot of energy expended, so
yeah,
interesting to see how they get into their next match. But let's see what the judges have decided here.
And your winner by decision, out of the red corner, Diogo Hayes.
Diogo Hayes. Diogo Hayes, the winner of the first match in the 145-pound division. The Megalodon defeats Keith Krikorian by decision. Amazing match, back and forth. As I said, had every single technique in the Jiu-Jitsu encyclopedia written by Sean Williams. It was just an awesome match from start to finish.
Yes, it was. That was